does need that treasure, actually. And this subtle change to the cooperativeness of the game is fascinating, and it's not going to be a problem for everyone. I think for some groups, for some people, this will be a really good change. This will be great. For me, not quite. Although I do think it's really interesting that this game was probably play-tested quite heavily throughout the period of lockdowns and heaviness of COVID. And I'm kind of fascinated about that, in the fact that this game ended up taking away some of those options for people just being slightly mean, in a way that I think, could this be a bit of a time capsule of design? Could it have been what the playtester needed more at that time in history? I'm just rambling now, but I thought it was quite interesting. If you don't, that's fine. Next thing.
Hello. If you're watching this video and you are itching to play a game like this, what you should do right now, you should get a copy of Jaws of the Lion. 4 characters rather than 17, 30 scenarios rather than 100, a book of maps rather than dozens of tiles. It's smaller in scope in almost every conceivable way, but I think this slightness doesn't just make this the perfect sample platter to get into these systems, it also makes it a better game. Firstly, it's because you just get to the game so much quicker. Rules are explained quickly and easily and intuitively folded into the batter of your first few sessions. Characters are more immediately fun and snappy to play around with. Setup is instant with this map book that you just flop on the table and go. The story is more pared back, direct and followable across the 30 scenarios of this generous campaign. One that you'll actually finish. And each mission feels distinct from the last because you have this map book. No generic tiles means that these spaces feel more cohesive and readable. So that's my pitch for why Jaws of the Lion is box is so cheap. It's scarily cheap for how much game you get in that box. What are they doing out there to people for this? You're probably thinking, what's missing? Well, aside from the fact that it's got fewer characters and fewer missions, the legacy stuff is less pronounced. You just go from mission to mission, you play the character, do less of the output. But that admin realistically represents portion of the time you spend. It's not really why you're there. You're there to play the game. And the game is better, more cohesive, readable, understandable, and enjoyable than it has ever been in Jaws of the Lion. I got rid of my copy of Jaws of the Lion so that I could bring Frosthaven into my collection. I thought this box replaces this box. And I might have been a bit wrong about that, because this whole time I've been trying to make Frosthaven smaller. I've been thinking, how can I replace bits with an app? How can I do the minimum setup possible required on the table? How can I make it so the campaign step is less arduous? How can I make it so that my character is less complicated and gritty and weird to play as? For 90% of people, with the time that you have in your life to play games, Jaws of the Lion is so good. I can't believe we didn't do a video on it. That's my fault. Anyway, that's the end of this.
Thanks so much to today's video sponsor, Tom Brewster. The thing that's really hard about trying to review something like this is you're not really reviewing a game, you're reviewing some changes to an environment. A lot of us have and that means that everything nibbles away at something else. Every weed that you pull out. Well, it turns out that weed was actually a home where something quite precious previously lived. Or I guess in other words, it's different and I don't like it. No, I don't think that's exactly it. I don't think that Frosthaven is a game that struggles with the changes. It's more that it has its duality, much like the character that I play. The fact-based personality that morphs between being two different personalities. David/Jason in Elrond's Jason/David. This game also feels like it's trying to be two different things within the same confined space. The first part of this little identity crisis comes from the breadth of people that this box is trying to please. Yes, this is a fully inclusive box. You can play this game without having any of the other games. Should you jump into this box without having played any of the other games? Absolutely not, no. But if you do own Gloomhaven, then you already own a lot of these components. There's a level of fiddliness to most of the characters in Frosthaven, which is just so much higher than that in the previous games. The characters are truly like, you're only going to be able to enjoy playing them if you're a really more for the system. involuntary schlockiness of just bumbling around and doing a bad job. More cerebral problems and complicated scenarios was what I thought I wanted from this game, but I'm not sure if it's actually what I need. It turns out, like, playing through missions in which you are two different characters at the same time, each of whom has their own set of cards, it's possibly just a bit more exhausting than I wanted. And that's the first division of the game trying to be two things. For people who've not played it, people who have played it, kind of can't be both. It wiggles back and forth and does that thing in Mario Kart where you're not sure to go left or right and just slams into the barrier. The second division here is between bitty cardboards and apps. This new loot system, it's pretty neat, or a massive pain, depending on whether or not you've got a decent phone or an iPad. Look at these new treasure pouch tokens, they're great, I love them, they're so satisfying to place and to collect. But also there's a deck of cards that you have to build differently for each mission you play to alter the distribution of potential things that you can find in these pouches. I can do it. Goodness gosh. Using officials to keep track of things out of this whole tray. These treasure pouches are the only thing I'm actually using. And I know that some people absolutely hate using apps, and I think it's really important that you do have everything you need to play the game without having the internet or power. But this is what the game looks like if you take away everything that I'm not using because I'm using apps. You multiply that across thousands of copies and that is a lot of stuff. And the same thing was true with Gloomhaven. Absolutely. But they had no way of predicting that, all right? That happened after the game came out. When they were making this game, they knew that tons of people played Gloomhaven a lot using apps, and they knew that lots of people would do the same thing with Frosthaven. So, it's not the same situation as that. And yes, this might just seem like I'm talking about a smaller, cheaper box, logical, but this isn't just a production issue. The problem is, when you have a game that's trying to design itself to be too many different things at once, it starts to actually affect the game. In addition to the unofficial apps and the official app that you can buy, you've got the option of paying for a fully voiced professional read-through of all of the game's writing that's been made by working with a third party. Now, that's kind of interesting, and I'm kind of tempted to do my own read-through using just one voice for all of the characters.
Ambrose Raiders, we're doomed!
Cries an elderly porter beside you.
We've come all this way for nothing!
But then you've got this situation where arguably you've got a lot of writing which is trying to be both radio play drama and your mate Dave does his best at trying to read it out. There was a lot of brevity and simplicity to the writing in Gloomhaven that made it a lot easier and more enjoyable to read out. Here though, it feels like the emphasis is more on the writing than it is the reading. And bits of flowery language from time to time and interesting phrasing catch people out. They mean that people stumble when they're reading. And to be absolutely shameless for a moment, I'm not a game designer. One of the bits of game design I have done was the expansion from Marvel, which you can buy. One of the main things we learned when we were designing that was that we shouldn't be too clever whilst writing information on the cards, because often people would just read it out, and if they read it out and couldn't read it out, it made them feel stupid. The writing here isn't bad. It isn't pretentious or irritating. It just doesn't always feel like it's on the side of the players, both in the sense of the ludological and the Shakespearean. And I'm allowed to write stupid lines like that because I'm the only person who has to read this script. Too many paragraphs in this game should have been a sentence. More writing can better flesh out the world, but only if people read it. And honestly, the moment that I'm starting to run out of breath, everything else on the table is getting a little bit toned down. Wizard life, ancient corduroys of power. Kill them all, kill them all. Let's go. But in some cases, the writing is really successful. Quite early in the campaign, it does some lovely work of introducing a character that's in charge of the town. And it has them appearing in the event cards as well as the mission descriptions in a way that really helps you establish a better foundation for the wider theme and environment of the game. In Gloomhaven, it was very easy to just find yourself faced with a map of stickers, and maybe we were doing something for a wizard. Was it a bad wizard? Let's just give them the artifact. Oh, it was a bad wizard. I remember now. Yeah. Thankfully, things here are clearer, richer, even less tabulous. The genre's still packed with giant rats in the cellar. It's refreshing that the first real sub-quest in Frosthaven can be broadly described as weird crabs. And texture like this is incredibly important here because, as I mentioned earlier, everything is honestly very blue. The unlockable puzzle book feels like a pretty vital new addition, spicy. And how delightful is this chart of unlockable potions? And these advent calendars of unlockable missions are a delightful new addition to the formula. The stickers that you add to your map will get on perforated windows, and you're then left with some iconography that makes it easy to get steer on what you want to do next. But does that make them bored with the stickers on a map even more of a frivolity? Actually, no. Being able to recap what you've done by following these arrows backwards, and if you need to, looking up numbers in the book again and being like, oh yeah, you burnt down that. It all helps you develop context for the map, propping up the world with a splodge of almost earned geography. And I think because at the end of every mission, you're also often updating your town with new stickers, it actually reminds you to do the world map, because it was a fun thing in this game, but often it was that, However, gentle spoiler territory here, but there is a downside to the fact that most people, when you're playing a big, explory, world RPG like this, you don't tend to, finish things, you know? You finish things at the end. It's fun to go and see new things, and a lot of the cool rewards come at the end of some of these quest lines. And most of the people I've spoken to tend to dabble around a bit in a way that maybe the game doesn't reward. Alright, so it's ludicrous, but the campaign manual is now quite slick. You start off a mission, it tells you all the bits you're going to need to find in the box, but then it doesn't show you the configuration of future rooms until you then read a bit in the second book. Well, in Gloomhaven, the entire mission configuration was all on those pages, which meant you had to try and stop yourself from vision.
I can't carry
Impossible.
anymore.
In practice, it meant that one player set up the mission to minimise the bleed of spoilers around the table, whereas now, we can all do it together, we can all help. So why don't you just put your phone down for a minute and find me the ice token that we need for this. No, that's snow. No, that's another type of snow. That's a lot. Come on, Thomas. And I can sit and poke fun at the jagged little mess of quite similar tokens, but this sort of messiness was what I love about Gloomhaven, and in spite of it, I guess what I'm getting at here is that in many ways, Frosthaven is a less messy game. And I might like it less because of that. Sorry, Matt, what? I'm calling it less. The characters in this game just feel more balanced. It all feels much more play-tested and considered. And yet the safety features they've added to the roller coaster take something away. Gloomhaven is my go-to example of a resilient. You play that and just get loads of things wrong, and it's still solid. We forgot about those parts in a few sessions. That's fine. When we weren't messing the game up, the game was sort of messing itself up sometimes. That mission was way too easy. That one was way too hard. It was erratic, and it didn't matter. Frosthaven as a box, understandably, with so many watching as it walked out onto the stage, just didn't feel as sure of itself. And Gloomhaven wasn't some poster child for clear, confident design, but it did feel like a statement. If anything, a whisper of a statement. Just arriving on the scene with this gigantic, strange box of things and going, Lou, would you like to play this? Sorry, what? You're this brilliant, gigantic RPG with weird ideas and seemingly infinite scope? Hello, but faced with the bright lights and amplification of thousands of fans asking what comes next, it's impossible not to detect just a
I have
flicker
noticed the
of
oracle
stage
tree has
fright.
just shed a piece of its
Gloomhaven
bark.
felt like the game that
No
Isaac
doubt it has
Childress
a task
wanted
that
to
it
play,
wishes
whereas
completed.
Frosthaven
You should speak
feels like
with
it was
it.
made for us.
Oh, the
And gosh,
forest
how rude
whispers
of
of your
me to
feats
sit
of
here and
valor,
complain about that.
adventurer.
But I just
As
think
I
there's
felt the
something
harpies
powerful
forced
about
from their nests,
listening
a
to
greater calm
artists and
spread across the
creators
forest.
through the work
Its
that they
creatures
create.
once again
That
feel
somehow gets
safe.
lost when that
I have
becomes a
feared
conversation.
sending another
And if you
message
disagree
to
with
the
me, then that's
archers'
fine.
but I
Please,
know
please
that
feel
you
free
will
to go
see
out and
my
enjoy
message
literally
safely to
every
them.
piece
Deliver
of
this to
successful
them. Know that
media.
the forest will see
But I keep
you
going back to
safely
that
along its
rulebook
paths to the
and the way that the
forest of
rulebook
stone.
feels like a direct conversation with the fan base. Because when you're surrounded by a really wide circle of people, you can't have a direct conversation without turning your back on someone else. My self-help book will be available in shops 2020, 2020, 2020. This isn't something that we've discussed now because it's rare that any one creator or any one game has the kind of reverberation, the impact of something like this. With thousands of new games being released every single year, the vast majority of board games aren't a conversation. They're just a one-way dialogue, sort of screaming into the void. That's a bit too real, actually. We cut some B-roll of some minis bashing each other with these sound effects.
Hello and welcome to the interstitial segment, shut up and sit down review of Frosthaven that I'll be titling the Insert, also known as a great blue glacier of foam core, also known as the Sunday that I will never get back, also known as limitless potential in tiny coffins, and also known as the Frosthaven Insert was my game of the year 2022. When you look at Frosthaven and you try and assess it as a game, you might be tempted to look at its systems. You might look at its legions of pieces, its preposterous scale, its slick card combat, its mountainous ambition. But listener, viewer, content consumer, if you're to dissect the emotional core of Frosthaven, its icky, gooey heart, you must first dissect the insert. Now, of course, the insert arrives before the game, but even its arrival is sticky with anticipation. The tracking information is the start of what will be the biggest, most all-consuming of games, the start of the devouring of your weekends, the start of the game. But it's also the end of all games. This box will, in cuckoo-like fashion, eject lesser games from their lofty perch in your regular Thursday evening game night. This is the despot of the Kallax, the gargantuan blue jewel of your collection, and the insert is the apparatus of its reign, the envoys sent forth to sound the trumpets that herald its arrival. And you must make preparations. You start to assemble. Each box of the Frosthaven insert is a teaser. The form of these boxes hint to their function. What future treasures will these contain? You punch out, lay out, dry assemble, glue long edges, glue short edges, glue, assemble and air dry your dozens of treasure chests bereft of their most precious good time cargo. And across its many missions or scenarios, its mechanics grow in complexity. From Tray 4 onwards, you have to deal with multi-part chambers. From Tray 9 onwards, you must cross great chasms of crisscrossing lattice work. And Trays 14 and 15 have you duel with fiddly pieces. This insert is its own DIY campaign that gets trickier with each assembly, and it may be the only campaign you finish. But in that middle moment, you're in the eye of the storm. Fingers caked in glue, gunk, bottle concave and waning. The light is getting lower and the trays demand more. Feel. It's not the end. You remember this game is to be your greatest adventure. You remember your role as the host, the one who organizes. You remember that you are the person who says, it's okay, don't worry, I'll pack it away later on. This glue is you. By slowly securing these panels together, you might just find a home for that most crucial component, layers. By doing this, you might ensure there continues to that most important box housing components, your home. You press on. Through the Tree Box 12 and its bamboozling halfway wall, the energy-sapping quadruplet of trays 14A through 15B, all the way up to that final tray that ties it all together, the last rush, the last level, the final boss of the Frosthaven insert. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair, for my blue beast has several chambers and 2 layers. The Frosthaven insert was my game of the year 2022. This moment when all these tiny boxes spread across your table, this moment is the apex of this box. This moment is when Frosthaven radiates an anticipation that is the truth of board games. This is the Rosetta Stone of Kickstarter, the unfortunate DNA helix round which this hobby revolves. This is the Enigma code for Frosthaven as a whole.
It is my honor to provide.
This is not a game, it
For
is
they are
a
heroes in the
miasma
making.
of ideas
A friend of
swirling
mine, Nessa
and colliding.
Shadowsong,
You are
is a
giddy
fishing
with
merchant in
anticipation
Rutherland
for a
Village.
game that you have
She needs a
wanted
parcel
for
taken to
years
Darkshore and is
dreamed
looking for
of
someone to help
more.
her.
And
If you're
then,
interested,
with
then to
all
reach
the
Nessa, you must take the portal in
excitement of the
Darnassus to
world,
Rutherland Village. You will find the portal west of the Temple Gardens.
And it's good.
And so that is Frosthaven, the gigantic sequel to the gigantic game. Is it for everyone? No. Is it for newcomers? No, we mentioned that a while ago. Come on. I think this game is for one group of people. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I hope they have a really great time with it. Frosthaven, as a game, this is for people who have finished Gloomhaven and they really just want more, and they want something meatier and more complicated, and they just want more. And so for me to say that Frosthaven, it's not for people who've not really deep dived
Is it not
into Gloomhaven
astonishing
for a lot
what
of
one
time,
can create from the
that's
plants of the
fine, and
forest?
Who cares?
Truly,
I've only
Elune
got
has
about
blessed
halfway
us with
through
her
the
bounty.
Gloomhaven campaign, and it's been about 7 years. I'm just going to play Gloomhaven. Not played any of these and want to go? Jaws of the Lion, best place to start. If you've finished Gloomhaven and you are hungry for more, Frosthaven, definitely. If you haven't finished Gloomhaven, you've still got a bunch of stuff in that box, and you're tempted by this big, exciting new blue sibling, just go back to Gloomhaven. It's still what you want for now. And if you haven't got any new characters unlocked that you want to play as, just open one of the boxes. I won't tell anyone. Just open a box. Treat yourself. And that is the
Well
end of this
done.
Giganto
These
round.
tumors are the
Games,
symptom of the
games,
Timberling's
games, board
disease.
games.
They are filled with a
Speaking
poison
of
that
which,
we must cleanse from
myself
our
and
new
Tom will be
land.
having
I will
another
dispose of
extended
these
rambling
tumors.
podcast about
Thank you,
Frosthaven. So if you
adventurer.
want more thoughts and
I have
somebody
just
else's
received
thoughts and
word
teams
that
of
Denelin at Lake
people
Alamoth has
podcast
discovered
for
what
that.
may be the cause
And
of
I've
the
got nothing
tumors
else to
that
say at
plague
this
the
point.
Timberlings. Please
So
speak
in a
with
moment
him
of panic, I'm just going
and
to
tell
put
him
the
I
Frosthaven
sent
box
you.
on my head.
Make haste,
And that's going to be the
adventurer.
end of the video.
He needs our help.
Goodbye.
Excuse me, friend. It has come to my attention that Mathringal Bearwalker has put out word that he wishes to speak with you. It seems that your training as a druid is about to take on a new life, and he will be training you personally. Mathringal is the direct assistant to the Archdruid himself, and is one of the most sage and august druids you'll find in Teldrassil. He is located in the Cenarion Enclave of Darnassus, on the second floor of Vandal Staghelm's
But everybody
tree.
chill out, okay?
I am glad you found your
We're
way.
gonna play as the Ink
Young
Squad this
adventurer.
time, so
The
that we
time
have
has
a
come for you
chance
to
to
take a large
kill
step
the
into a
boss
much
that we created
larger
that one
world.
time. Now,
Inside
who
each
is
of
the?
Cenarius's children
who's
is
the
the
Ink
call
Squad?
to serve nature.
That's the junk
Animals
team,
and
right?
plants
I mean, it
are
could,
our friends
it
as well as
maybe
our
is in
charges.
every deck,
We
but
choose
or
to
could be in
devote our
every deck, but
lives as
it's
preservers
default
of
in
balance
the
for
Ink
their
deck,
sakes,
right? Or in the junk
as
deck.
well as our own. Your
His name
first
is
step into this
P-Man.
world
You're absolutely
will be
right.
to
That
learn
is very
the
funny.
ways of the bear, and to learn
P-Man.
strength
This is-
of body and heart.
Hi, I'm P-Man, and
Ready
welcome to
yourself.
Jackass.
All druids
Gain
are
one
welcome in the
block on
sacred
kill,
lands of
and you start with some
Moonblade,
ink.
regardless
Let's
of the
take a
current
chance here.
tensions in the
Draw
Cenarian
one when
circle
hit.
between
We just
Archdruid
unlocked Sneasel, so let's
Staghelm
give it a
and
chance.
Keeper Remulos, Moonglade's guardian. Now that you're learning the ways
Please,
of the
my
claw,
father was P-Man.
I'll
Call
teach you
me
the
Piss
spell
Boy.
that lets you transport yourself there.
Sneasel out here?
Cast it whenever you seek
He
Moonglade's
is no
knowledge
name.
or solace.
I got nothing
As
against
for your
no
first
name. They
lesson,
make some good products.
travel to Moonglade and speak with Dendrite Starblaze in Nighthaven about the path you're now on.
Let's have you pop
Good
a little
luck,
sun
young
box
druid.
here. Thanks
I
for the
wondered
drop.
why the Oracle Tree had
Thanks for
not
the drop.
communicated with me for so long.
You do one
It seems
damage
that
when hit,
some
you get a little
problems are
stronger.
lessened while
Who cares?
others grow to greater
I'm about to
concerns.
gain
I fear
an
my
ice
work
cube
on
on your
Teldrassil
ass,
shall never
and
be
we're going to create a
completed,
combo thusly.
and our immortality never restored. Nonetheless, you have done the Oracle Tree's task well, and message should be removed.
Now, honestly, you're a little weak. I would rather just
You had
smoke
enough time to
because
run
I don't want
messages
you to get
for
hit. I don't want to waste your
Oracle,
ice
and
cube. We
I'm
can use your
sure
ice
that I
cube
can
more
press you
tactically.
into service to deliver a message to the Grove of the Ancients.
Now, I'm
in
straight up
Darkshore,
thinking, like,
due
let's just
south
drop a
of
junk
all
head out here.
You will most likely
Let's
have
drop
to secure
a
transport
gear hammer
on
out
the
here.
Hippogriff. But I
And then
have
we get a
faith enough in
beautiful
you
snow
that you
Zuka
can
that could allow
manage
us to
that.
set up a nice
Take
combo.
This to Onu,
You're about
the
to kill
ancient of
Junkhead.
lore. He has been awaiting word from me, even as
you
I
know,
waited for
I
news from the
honestly, I
Oracle
feel like I
Blade.
don't really mind that much. We're gonna get a redraw regardless. Now we redraw, we get the gear hammer that allows us to kill you. What did I tell you? What the hell did I tell you? Get smoked. Plenty of tempo. Get a second. Oh no, that's not gonna work that way. That's okay. I thought it was gonna tick you down a little faster. Big ping. Gain a little when an ally is killed. Okay, I'm gonna ink you. That's step one, is I'm gonna ink you. And then, I feel like you should... Well, yeah, no, 4 attacks are coming in here for 1 each. You can come in here, do a little damage. You know what? Let's make sure you get smoked as well. Everything's great here. Nothing to worry about so far. You're about to pick up another kill. It's the greatest Snow Zuka draw of all time. We can get more draw out of this. I'll take that. We're not really setting up combos, but at least we're getting all the bling. I mean, the game's complicated enough as is. I feel like I'm the only person saying it, but like, it's a tough ass game, man. There's a lot of moving parts in Wild Frost. He's dead. Not here, but when we redraw a gear fall, he's dead. Malf was saying it too. It's really like, it's when you get like, the first battle's nothing. But when you get to the late battles and there's 6 enemies and every single one of them has like trigger effects and stuff like that, it's tough, man. It's tough to keep everything in mind, at least. I don't want to charm yet. I feel like we should stack charms later. Bling is always going to be good, though. Restoring health is not bad for us. Adding frenzy to something, adding 12. I mean, 12 snow is good too, but a lot of enemies are like... Actually, you know, I just like it, and it consumes. A lot of enemies are like 1 snow Andes, but then I'm thinking of like the aimless bulls that you fight. Those are not 1 snow, and they're very annoying. Listen, you see the kinds of people that go on this website? Scooty literally just finished a solo hero no frindle run. First off, what the hell is a frindle? You are a crybaby because your mistakes are punished a little harder than other games. I just made an observation. I said, this is a pretty hard game. I'm getting accused of being a crybaby just for making conversation, just because I have the audacity to use frindles on my run. I mean, are you seeing this? Wait, why you say fuck me for? I'm just out here minding my own business. 128 messages in chat. Hit with junk for value. In junk. Junkson. Off-site cloud backups. Have you ever played Frostpunk? 9 question marks. What's the point of the docket if it's just gonna say things like more that tell me nothing? Docket. Queensland. Doom Eternal. Question mark. Anthem or you're bad. Anthem or throw. Pick Anthem, bro. Why so bad? So dead. Bad game. I can't. Oof, so dead. You're done. No survival. End of run for sure. You suck at this game. Trash. Skipping your first shop was insane. Holy cow. These are just practical effects. It's not CGI. It's just practical effects. My lord. That's a new one. I don't think I've ever clicked the ban button. I've only ever typed /ban. That was big ups to the designers who made it look like a circle with a line through it. I know what that means. Never change that, okay? You gotta relax. I'm not even mad. It's not like sometimes I ban people just because they hurt my feelings, but you just gotta like chill out. Your priorities are all out of whack and it's freaking me out. We gotta just nip that in the bud, okay? Good Lord. Just go chill out for like a couple months, and then we can laugh about this later. Let me look at my deck real quick. Foxy is always good. We may not need more snow. You slowing is great, but you don't do any damage. I think we need somebody that can do a little extra damage. Give me a Foxy. That felt amazing. Alright, pop this out here. Hey, Porcupine, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Give me some tempo. I'd rather you didn't snow me, but it is what it is. Let's get Foxy out there. I hope you're okay. I'm fine. It's just sometimes you just you just gotta question yourself. Or maybe that's the thing, is maybe I'm questioning too much. I don't know. I should have inked you first, probably. You have 6 life. We can gain block on kill. That goes crazy. I don't really see a need to ink you, but I guess we might as well play an ink anyway. And reroll. I would like to build some gear hammers here while we got a chance. Now it's all just the same chatters. I expect everybody in chat to be like a little bit crazy. But not that crazy. You are the most annoying. I mean, I'm a little crazy too. If you see me in Chip's chat, I'm not afraid to get a little insane with it from time to time. But, you know, some people just take it to the extreme. Speaking of which, did you see the tweet? I'm going to let you get a kill so you get a block. And I'm going to let you tank a shot so that we get a card draw. Which means I'm just going to smack you. I'm not going to worry about Blink too much. Do you see the tweet that was like, the premise of the tweet is, what if Bill Hader and Danny McBride were the cast of the Blood Meridian movie? Anyway, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. It was good either way. If you saw it, I'm laughing with you, not at you. You're gonna hit for 1. That's pretty bad. Could obviously just kill you, but you're also an easy unit to set up a combo piece on later. I don't mind letting you escape. I think that's okay. Are you gonna die before you get a chance to attack? Well, you are if I hook you up a little bit. You're pretty annoying too, but we can use you as like a card generator. I think I'm just gonna smack you. I'm gonna snow. You're about to do 3 damage. If you're about to do 3 damage, let's set up a combo this turn. Bumbo. Apply 2 snow barrage. You do 3 damage. I mean, barrage is horrendous, of course. I feel like it's not so bad if, well, we can just ink barrage when necessary. You do 3 damage, you do 2 damage. I'm gonna snow you for 2. I'm gonna ink you on this turn. Redraw. You're about to do some damage. Not much. We need to get like some damage enablers for you. You hit us and we draw. We could have you get a kill. Sure, why not? And then, I mean, if you do 3 damage and don't even apply snow, I'm just going to keep you inked up. I'm going to try to set up a combo piece here. We do have to stop the Snow Gobbler. You're going to take 3. Well, you know what? Wait, we don't even need the draw enabler. We'll snow you, even though you do get a little stronger. You're about to hit for 1, which is like pretty ass. I'm gonna hit you for 4. Wake up, Jesse. We have to stop the cum gobbler. You know, I never really thought about it that way. But now that you phrased it thusly, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. They didn't say wake up, Jesse. Oh, that was me. I said wake up, Jesse. Because it's funny to me. All right. Easiest fight of my life. Do you know that Jesse Pinkman was originally supposed to die, but then he got saved by the writer's strike? Let's go to the shop. Yes, I didn't know that. I didn't know that until the writers went on strike again. Imagine when I'm going to find out that this writer's strike changed when they strike again in 20 years. Did you know Viggo Mortensen? Yeah, I know that Viggo Mortensen actually broke his toe when he kicked the helmet in the Two Towers when he found out that the hobbits got taken to Isengard. Did you know that originally Stuart Townsend was going to play Aragorn, and then he just gave people bad vibes on the set? So instead they hired Viggo Mortensen, and Viggo Mortensen was like, I've been training for this role my whole life. I sleep in a stable with my own horse called Strider. And they were like, oh shit. Half of that is true. Anyway, hang on a second here. I don't know if he slept in a stable, but he's kind of a wild guy. It's not end your turn when played. I mean, this goes great on a lot of stuff. Ideally, we'd be able to play Sunsong Box a little bit more often to begin with, but I think we use it on the ink as well. But you know what? We don't have to apply it yet. Maybe we can apply it to something else. Maybe we don't have to be greedy yet. When destroyed, trigger all allies. Destroy a card in your hand. Add its blank to a random enemy. I do like the idea of a forging stove. But it has to go onto a good card. I guess we could just keep using it on gear hammers over and over and hope that it adds to Foxy. I think all those cards are pretty good, though. Increase attack by 3 and add aimless to the target. Reduce by 1. Recycle 1. Consume. You always, ABC, you'll always buy Crown. And I think Foxy getting out there makes a lot of sense. I feel like it's better to put Numlin on Flask of Ink, because eventually Forging Stone might not have a target, whereas the ink will always have a target. Although sometimes the target might be kind of useless. Sun Cream does seem great, apparently because it's... oh, I can't afford it. Unless I click on it a bunch, maybe? Never mind. Can't afford that. I feel like it's okay to take a magma booster. I wish it consumed, though. Although I guess that means the first one is not... Like, the first one is the only bad one. But, like, I could just keep adding this to Foxy over and over, right? You can't use it twice? You can only... Oh, well, if you can only use it once, then I say no thank you. I say give me a charm. You can't add aimless to someone who already has aimless. All right. Duly noted. Duly noted. Foxy with the bling charm, if we eventually get him to do more damage. Which maybe could just happen as a result of the forging stove to begin with. But I'm not feeling like I'm overpowered yet. I'm just a guy. We didn't get Sneasel, which sucks pretty bad. But it does also mean that Foxy has a 50% chance of getting that, which he did. Okay, that's fantastic. Straight up, Sun Song Box, you're aimless. You only do 1 damage, though. Sunsong Box destroys the junk, thus allowing us to get a critical snow cake next turn. Now, I'd love to draw ink and have you not hit all enemies, but let's just give it a second, okay? Oh, snow cake doesn't have critical. What were they thinking? We should move you guys up and then play a junkhead. Either way, I mean, Sunsong Box is just good to play. Redraw me. You're about to hit all enemies. It's not that bad. But it does, I mean, we could ink you and then save a little damage. We could snow you for 1, and then you'll just split to begin with, which is pretty good. Yeah, let's just snow you for 1 first. Got some extra damage out there. Okay. I don't know if we got any combo pieces, though. You're aimless. You do 1 damage. I would love for you to hit Sneasel and just give us extra card draw. You're about to do 2 damage and apply Snow. It doesn't... I don't consider it, like, relevant at all. Although I guess I would... All things considered, I prefer for you to not apply Snow. You're aimless. You're aimless as well. So we got 3 damage coming in here. You're aimless as well. Doesn't really matter who gets hit up here. Just ink you and not get snowed. And when you kill a wild unit, all the other units that are wild get frenzy. That's correct. You're not gonna die. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna get a kill. Be nice if you got it. We'll move you down, but you're aimless. It doesn't matter too much. Let's do a forging stove. Destroy a gear hammer. Let me think about this. We'd like for Sneasel not to die. These units are all aimless. We might just have to leave Sneasel. Well, you know what? Why don't we just return them to our deck? You're about to do 2 damage. Not relevant. You're about to do 1 damage. We can make sure it hits Junkhead. Certainly feel like we could just Sunsong Box. You're gonna do 5 damage 3 times. Wouldn't kill you, so I'd rather move you down here so we're guaranteed to get the kill, even though it would be nice to get a combo going here. Let's see what, dude. I do keep reading it as Samsung Box as well. You know what? We could take a chance. So people are like, oh no. But if you forging stove on the gear hammer and it hits Foxy, you could get a 3-piece combo. Boom, boom, boom. Or, wait, but if we would just wanted to add... No. It could work. It could work. Just hammer the Boozy. Okay, he gets hit for 2, but then you do 5, 5. And then you get a 2-piece combo. It doesn't get the kill. I think you take the 50-50. It didn't work. I've abandoned my boy. It's okay though. You're going to apply Snow, and you're going to do aimless, but it's guaranteed to hit. We get a bunch of card draw, and then you're going to get a kill this time. If we... No, well, you are going to get a kill, actually. How about that? You only do 1 damage, you do 1 damage. Let's bring Foxy back. We can just have you attack first, I guess. Not that it matters. Still fine. Okay, we'll go redraw counter, because we always go redraw counter. Egg did a better play than me. I'm washed. Rare chatter with self-awareness. When one chatter is struck down, The other chatter receives a quickening, receives all their chatting power. A lightning bolt comes down from the sky. There can be only one. I want to munch. No, I don't want to munch because I need targets for my stove. So it's better to go this way, and maybe we'll have enough to get something from the shop. I do kind of hate this. I need more ink, man. Lumen Lantern boosts a random ally's effects by 1. Hey, Sindin, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. I think with this would boost Frenzy in all likelihood, right? Is Frenzy an effect? No. Okay, well then never mind. You know what? Give me Frost Bell. I don't know. Maybe I underrate Frost. It's in the game, right? Like it must be good. Apply 1 haze, aimless consume. I mean, that's kind of crazy. We'll take a crown first though. And put it on Sneasel. I will say that I actually feel like Noomlin on Forging Stove seems totally fine. We would get to use it like 4 times per battle minimum. And then 61 remains. I don't really want Frost Bloom. Because I think this is mostly useful for like making weak frenzied enemies do so little damage that we get card triggers off of Sneasel for free. So I think I just charm it up, man. Restore 2 health on kill. It's kind of anus. Maybe you can see a case for it on Sneasel, but not great for our deck. This is very huge. When hit, countdown by 1. Okay. Step 1, Forging Stone Gear Hammer. It made Sneasel stronger. That's not ideal. I'd love for you to draw first. We can apply... You know what? We should actually just ink you first. Then you'll attack us for 0 for like 4 turns. And we'll get draw for free, which is kind of incredible. He made a good play. Did you see that? I mean, you're my best damage dealer right now. Why don't you attack more often? You're going to get a kill this turn. Fantastic. I think we'll just Snowzuka you while we're on critical here. Beautiful. You're going to get an attack here for 3. It's a good time to redraw, I think. I feel like I got almost nothing out of it. We'll save Frostbell until more enemies show up. I guess I'll just smack you a little bit for now, while I got the chance. When destroyed, apply 5 to all allies. Not amazing. You need to move up here. You need to move up here. And then... I could let you hit me for 0 first. We'll apply a snow cake to you. I think this is still good. So now you do 1 damage, but actually you don't, because I'm going to Frost Bell up here. Thank God that doesn't do damage. If I killed the Moko head, I'm in the world of hurt, I think. Now you're about to do 2 damage. See, the thing is, I'd rather you didn't do that. I moved too slow. But you are about to get a kill. But I'd rather have you get the kill than you get the... I mean, a draw 1 is kind of nice. I guess it's always nice, though, to also, like, block an attack. I could, you know what? Why don't I do... I'm getting too greedy with it. Why don't we just put Junkcat out there, generate some junk? You don't always have to get a trigger. You're about to escape, which I think is totally fine. We're not going to attack you. We're going to attack you. I don't really mind if you escape, but I think our best move is probably just to snow you for 4. Because we don't want to kill this fool up here. We need to draw a Forging Stove, though. And then have it hit Foxy. Oh! You also get bling on the 0 damage hits. Of course. I knew that. Of course you get bling on the 0 damage hits. I could have told you that. When hit, apply 3 to everyone in battle. Scary. Very scary indeed. You're about to kill the Mopu head. I don't think I like that. I think I prefer this. But I want you at the front. There's got to be a good use of like 4 ink here. Like even just to block the Makoko for a minute. I'm not too worried about the King Moko just yet. Bling me. You're about to do 0 and give us a free trigger, which is nice. This does 0 damage and counts as a hit. Which means that you would then do 3 damage, right? But I would also do more damage. It's just a little spooky. I would rather just simplify the game a little bit. I know it's... That's a little cowardly, but we're gonna do it anyway. Okay, Forging Stove on the good Gear Hammer helps out our Sneasel. Snowzuka counts as a hit as well. You're about to generate some junk for us, which means we could Sun Song box on the next turn. I honestly feel like I need ink. I know it's crazy. I'm redrawing for ink. Because you're going to die, and then you're going to get a bunch of hits here. I feel like we ink the Moku head. I guess we might as well Forging Stove on our Gear Hammer first. It hit Foxy again. We're cracked. Hello, Alex. You ready for this play? Watch this. This one's for you. Ink someone and then kill them so that they don't get their on-lethal effect. I still wanted the benefit of King Moku. King Moko. So you attack in 3 turns. You attack 5 times for 1,000 damage. It's not great. But Foxy's going to go off. You're going to block 1 last hit. You know, Foxy should go first. I don't mind you hitting here. You should get snowed for 1 turn. Just to set the tempo up right here. And then it's over for you. It's that easy. You're right. He definitely should go second. We were not punished, but he should go second. Sorry, I'll get some treasure first. Apply 4 snow, recycle 2. Not great for us. Trigger a random ally, lose 1 heart. Every turn loses a heart. Plink and ink is nuts. Oh, you ink him! I guess you could ink Tutorian as well. Oh, but then he wouldn't trigger a random ally. Oh, interesting. Then he would attack for 2 every turn. Delightfully devilish. We're not really a Nom and Stompy build. If anything, we could maybe make BG work here. Yes. We're gonna Forging Stove a Gear Hammer. applied the Sneasel. Life goes on. Great use of Frost Bell up here. I can see it happening. You're too fucking strong. I hate you. I'm gonna redraw on 3. I think we need our big time snow attack. We did not get snow. Bro, this is a damn... No, you know what? Because we can just throw Plinker up there. You're about to hit for 2, which is fine. You throw Plinker up here, and then he just loses